There's a reason your words haven't been working. You've been asking, praying, affirming, yet nothing seems to shift. That's because the universe isn't listening to your words. It's listening to your energy. You don't speak to the universe with your mouth, you speak with your vibration. Every thought, emotion, and belief is a signal. And right now, your signal might be saying, "I'm not ready." But once you understand how to tune your inner frequency, how to speak the language the universe truly responds to, everything begins to shift. Not slowly, instantly. This isn't magic. This is resonance. And once you master it, the universe doesn't just hear you, it echoes you. Vibration is your true voice. Your words are surface level, but your vibration speaks from your core. You can say all the right things, affirmations, prayers, declarations, but if your energy says otherwise, the universe responds to the signal, not the sound. Vibration is your true broadcast. It carries the hidden truth behind your tone, your intentions, your emotions. You can't fake frequency. What you feel consistently is what you radiate, and what you radiate becomes your reality. You are always communicating energetically. Whether you're silent or speaking, whether you're smiling or faking, your vibration is transmitting nonstop. It's a language beyond language, a frequency that either attracts or repels, creates or delays. The universe isn't decoding your words, it's decoding your energy field. And when there's a mismatch between your outer words and your inner frequency, the universe responds to the stronger of the two, your vibration. Think of vibration as your soul's signature. It tells the quantum field what you expect, what you believe, what you're ready for. If your vibration says, "I'm lacking," then no matter how many times you say, "I am abundant," your results will mirror the lack. The universe isn't listening to your mouth, it's listening to your being. When you become the frequency of peace, love, power, or success, without needing to explain it, that's when manifestation becomes effortless. Every environment you're in, every person you encounter, is reading your vibration before they ever register your words. That's why two people can say the same sentence and get totally different reactions. One speaks from fear, the other from wholeness. Vibration cuts through performance. It reveals alignment. And if your vibration is unclear, inconsistent, or driven by hidden doubt, no amount of verbal effort can override it. The energy behind your words matters more than the words themselves. When your vibration is scattered, so is your message. When it's coherent, your reality begins to organize itself around you. You begin to magnetize people, places, and experiences that match your inner state, not because you chased them, but because you finally spoke the language they understood. Vibration. Energy attracts energy. That's the first law of resonance. Many people think manifestation is about saying the right mantra, but the truth is, manifestation responds to who you are when you're not trying. It's your resting state. It's what you broadcast in silence, when no one's watching, when you stop pretending. That's your true voice. If your inner frequency is based in fear, your results will reflect resistance. But if it's rooted in trust, things begin to flow. Not because you forced them, but because you matched them. Your frequency is shaped by your thoughts, but amplified by your emotions. What you consistently think and feel becomes your dominant tone. So if you want to change your vibration, don't just repeat word, shift your emotional baseline. Feel the outcome before it happens. That feeling becomes your voice to the universe. And when that voice is steady, the response is inevitable. Not maybe, not eventually, but precisely when you align. You cannot speak one thing and vibrate another and expect the universe to be confused. It's not listening to your effort, it's responding to your signal. Every hesitation, every doubt, every contradiction in your energy weakens the message you're sending out. To speak clearly to the universe, you have to speak with your being. Not your need, not your anxiety, but your presence. Vibration is how you claim your future without begging for it. When you walk into a room, your vibration arrives before you do. People feel it. Circumstances align with it. Opportunities respond to it. That's why those who master vibration seem to move through life with ease. They're not louder. They're more aligned. Their voice isn't in the noise, it's in the frequency they hold. And that frequency becomes their command, not through pressure, but through presence. So if you want to be heard by the universe, don't yell louder, tune deeper. Tune your vibration until it matches the timeline you desire. The moment your energy becomes a clear yes, the universe can finally respond. Not out of pity, not out of luck, but out of resonance. Because vibration is your true voice, and once it's in harmony, everything hears you. Emotions are frequency messengers. Your emotions are not random. They are intelligent signals carrying vibrational messages from your inner world to the quantum field. Each emotion holds a unique frequency, and the universe responds to that frequency. Not your intentions, not your plans, but your felt vibration. Joy is a high-frequency broadcast of abundance. Anxiety is a low-frequency echo of fear. Your emotional state becomes the language the universe reads in real time. You cannot bypass your emotions if you want to master manifestation. Suppressing sadness or forcing positivity only distorts your frequency. Instead, your job is to feel what's present and decode it. Every emotion is a messenger. Anger might reveal misalignment, while peace confirms you're in flow. When you learn to interpret emotions instead of fighting them, you gain access to your energetic compass. Emotions are instant vibrational outputs. You might say you believe in abundance, but if you constantly feel worry or guilt, that emotion becomes your broadcast. The emotional body doesn't lie. It overrides affirmations, intentions, and even actions. That's why learning to feel consciously is more powerful than speaking confidently. You are attracting what you feel repeatedly, not what you occasionally think. The universe doesn't judge your emotions. It responds to their frequency. Fear draws delays. Gratitude invites more to be grateful for. Love sends ripples of magnetic energy into every dimension of your reality. Your emotions either anchor you to the present or pull you back into the past. The more aware you become of what you feel, the more precision you gain in shifting timelines. Emotional awareness is energetic mastery. It's not about being positive all the time, it's about being honest. When you acknowledge low vibrations like doubt or sadness without clinging to them, you release their grip. That release creates space for higher frequencies like clarity, peace, and inspiration to move in. You're not weak for feeling deeply. You're powerful when you feel wisely. Every time you feel joy, you're sending a message to the universe. This is my natural state. That joy becomes a magnet. It starts pulling experiences, people, and moments that reflect it. The universe is simply a mirror. It reflects your most consistent emotional tone, not your momentary spikes. So the question becomes, what emotion do you practice the most? Feelings are faster than thoughts when it comes to shifting your frequency. You can think a positive thought, but if your body is tense with fear, that's the vibration you're emitting. Emotional alignment means your body and mind are speaking the same signal. That coherence sends a powerful transmission through the quantum field, and that's when synchronicity, flow, and manifestation accelerate. You've been taught to manage emotions intellectually, but emotion is energy in motion. It needs to move, not be analyzed to death. Allowing emotion to be felt fully and then released is a vibrational reset. It's not spiritual to avoid sadness. It's spiritual to feel it cleanly, let it teach you, and then shift into a higher state. That's real, energetic evolution. The best way to elevate your vibration is not to fake happiness, it's to generate authentic emotions. Gratitude, for example, is one of the most powerful energetic messengers. When you truly feel it, not just say, it aligns you with receiving. Same with awe, wonder, and trust. These aren't emotions for show. They are your spiritual frequency boosters. Your emotions are guiding you to alignment. They show you where you're off and where you're in flow. When you stop ignoring them and start listening, you unlock the hidden intelligence of your energetic system. You no longer chase alignment, you feel your way into it. Because emotions aren't just passing moods, they are the language of energy. And once you learn to speak through them, the universe responds in full. Your thoughts tune the signal. Your thoughts are not just mental activity, they are vibrational commands. Every thought carries a frequency, and that frequency either tunes you closer to or further from the reality you desire. When you think consistently in alignment with your intentions, you broadcast clarity. When your thoughts spiral into fear, doubt, or limitation, you scramble the signal. The universe doesn't respond to scattered noise, it responds to coherent vibration. Clarity begins with conscious thought. Most people let their minds run on autopilot, repeating the same loops of anxiety, guilt, or self-doubt. These repetitive thoughts create an energetic baseline, one that often contradicts the life they say they want. Tuning your signal means taking back control of your mental channel. You must become deliberate with what you think, because what you think is what you transmit. Thoughts are like dials on a radio. Each one moves you into resonance with a particular outcome. When you keep tuning to the frequency of lack, even if you want abundance, the station you receive will match the lack. It's not about wishing for change, it's about thinking in the vibration of the change you seek. What you think consistently becomes what you live repeatedly. Most people underestimate how much their dominant thoughts shape their experience. One moment of positive thinking won't override years of mental programming. But repetition reprograms the mind and eventually the field. If you want to shift timelines, shift your thoughts. Think in the language of the life you want, not the pain you've been through. Your brain is a transmitter, not just a processor. When you engage thoughts of fear, unworthiness, or lack, those thoughts send out a discordant frequency. That frequency attracts circumstances that echo the same vibration. But when your thoughts align with belief, trust, and expansion, you begin to shape a different electromagnetic signature, one that draws in opportunities instead of obstacles. It's not about toxic positivity or forcing happy thoughts. It's about truthfully aligning your thoughts with your intentions. If your intention is freedom, think thoughts that empower. If your desire is love, think thoughts that soften and open. The universe matches coherence. When your thoughts and desires are aligned, energy flows without resistance. Thoughts backed by emotion create powerful waves. It's not just what you think, it's how you feel while you're thinking it. A thought of success filled with excitement sends a stronger signal than one filled with fear. You must bring emotional charge into your thoughts to activate their magnetic pull. This is how thought becomes reality, when it is felt into being. Most people live in reaction mode, thinking based on circumstances. But manifestation happens when you reverse the order. Instead of waiting for good things to think good thoughts, you train your mind to think as if they've already arrived. This proactive thinking reshapes your field, and your field reshapes your life. You lead with thought, reality follows. Your thoughts don't have to be perfect, but they must be consistent. Consistency builds momentum in the quantum field. Random, conflicting thoughts confuse the signal and delay results. Think with intention. Build thought patterns that are steady, focused, and supportive of the version of you you're becoming. Every thought is either reinforcing your old self or aligning with your new one. When you're unsure of what to do, ask yourself, what thought would the highest version of me choose right now? That question alone can redirect your energy instantly. Because tuning your signal isn't about control, it's about alignment. When your thoughts match your truth, the entire field rearranges to support your clarity. You don't have to believe every thought you think. In fact, most of the thoughts in your mind are echoes of past programming. But awareness is power. When you recognize a thought that doesn't match your intention, you don't need to fight it, you just need to choose differently. Each conscious thought is a step toward energetic sovereignty. Ultimately, your thoughts are the blueprint of your future. They carve out the shape of your potential timeline before it becomes visible. Think with care. Think with presence. Think as if your thoughts are signals to a listening universe, because they are. And when your thoughts become clear, confident, and aligned, your signal becomes undeniable. That's when the field starts responding in full. Stillness amplifies transmission. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of full alignment. In stillness, your energy stops leaking into noise, distraction, and anxiety. You become centered, coherent, and broadcast a clearer signal to the universe. Most people try to manifest from chaos. But manifestation is a response to energetic clarity, not mental clutter. In stillness, you become a focused transmitter. When your mind is racing, your signal becomes scrambled. The universe can't deliver clearly to a channel that keeps switching frequencies. Stillness is the moment your inner channel locks in. It's when the quantum field finally gets a consistent reading of who you are and what you're asking for. You're no longer sending mixed signals, you're vibrating truth. Many confuse stillness with inactivity. But stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing everything from presence. When your actions emerge from stillness, they are more impactful. They carry intention, precision, and alignment. Stillness sharpens your energy so that when you do move, you move with power. The most magnetic people are not the loudest. They are the most still. Their stillness radiates certainty. They don't need to chase attention because their energy is enough. When you're still, you stop reaching, and that non-neediness becomes attractive. The universe feels that certainty and begins to organize around it. In stillness, you hear the deeper signals, your intuition, your knowing, your internal guidance. These are not loud, logical voices. They whisper. They arise from silence. If you're constantly filling your mind with input, you'll miss the subtle nudges that point to alignment. Stillness clears space for divine direction. The quantum field is pure potential. It responds not to your effort but to your energetic tone, and nothing refines that tone like stillness. In the quiet, your energy resets. You drop the fear, the urgency, the doubt. You come home to your frequency, and from that home, everything begins to return to you. Stillness creates a gap between reaction and response. It gives you power over your energy. Instead of responding to life with emotional chaos, you start responding with clarity. This shift alone changes the outcomes you receive. The universe rewards those who can pause, center, and choose deliberately. Most people operate from momentum they didn't choose. Stillness breaks the loop. It pauses the unconscious program and gives you a moment to realign. You remember who you are, what you desire, and how you want to move. One breath in stillness can redirect an entire timeline. Your nervous system is the channel through which the quantum signal runs. When you're in fight or flight, the signal weakens. When you're still, your nervous system calms, and your frequency becomes more refined. From that grounded place, your manifestations take root faster and deeper. Stillness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, you're just reacting to life instead of co-creating it. Stillness is where you download vision. It's where the next aligned step reveals itself. It's where you remember that you are not just a body chasing things, you are a frequency pulling reality in. You'll find that the more you practice stillness, the faster the universe responds. Not because you're doing more, but because you're interfering less. The field isn't waiting for your hustle, it's waiting for your harmony. And stillness is the path to that harmony. Stillness is where transformation integrates. After the inner shifts, you must allow stillness to anchor the change. If you rush from one breakthrough to the next without pause, the energy never settles. Stillness allows the upgrade to fully land in your system before the next expansion arrives. When you stop, silence, and become still, the noise of the world fades and the voice of the universe becomes louder. This voice doesn't yell, it aligns. It rearranges life in response to your inner frequency. And when that frequency is still, it is at its most powerful. Stillness trains your nervous system to stay calm in uncertainty. Instead of forcing, panicking, or rushing decisions, you learn to trust the invisible rhythm of the field. This trust becomes your signal, a signal that says, I am safe. I am enough. I don't chase, I attract. Ultimately, stillness is the amplifier of all energetic transmission. It is where you clarify your vibration, anchor your frequency, and become an irresistible magnet for what's aligned. Not because you did more, but because you tuned deeper. And in that deep signal, the universe hears you loud and clear. The universe matches energy, not desperation. Desperation is not a magnet, it's a repellent. When you beg the universe for something, you're affirming its absence. You may want it badly, but your energy says, I don't have it. And the universe, which mirrors energy, keeps giving you more of that lack. Wanting something deeply doesn't mean vibrating with it. You must become the version of you that already lives in the having, not the needing. The universe operates like a tuning fork. It doesn't respond to your words, it resonates with your frequency. When your energy is peaceful, grounded, and trusting, reality begins to shift. But if your energy is filled with anxiety, scarcity, and urgency. That becomes your broadcast. Desperation clouds your signal. Calm alignment clarifies it. Desperation comes from a belief that without that thing, you are not whole. That belief is a lie. You are already complete. The moment you vibrate from enoughness, you become a match for all the things you thought you had to chase. The universe doesn't need you to prove your worth, it needs you to remember it. The universe reads energy, not effort. You could hustle 16 hours a day, but if your energy is rooted in fear, nothing flows. On the other hand, one aligned, grounded action can shift everything. It's not how hard you work, it's how clean your signal is. Desperation distorts your signal. Detachment refines it. When you're desperate, you're operating from survival. You're trying to escape your current state instead of embracing the transformation it's offering. The universe responds best when your energy says, "I'm safe where I am, and open to what's next." Not, "I need this, or I'll fall apart." One attracts, the other repels. Think of energy as a mirror. Desperation reflects fear, doubt, and impatience. Calmness reflects trust, presence, and knowing. The universe doesn't choose sides, it simply matches what it sees. If you want something new, become someone new, not out of lack, but from alignment. Desperation tightens your grip, but manifestation flows from open palms. The more you grasp, the more it slips. But when you relax, trust, and let go of timelines, things begin to arrive unexpectedly. Not because you forced them, but because you became the frequency that welcomed them in. You cannot deceive the universe with words or rituals if your energy contradicts them. You might say affirmations every day, but if your inner state is panic, that's what you're transmitting. Energy doesn't lie. That's why it's not about how much you want something. It's about how deeply you believe it's already yours. When you're aligned, you stop looking for signs because you become the sign. You don't beg for proof, you breathe as proof. This inner certainty dissolves desperation. You stop chasing outcomes and start embodying presence. That shift alone rearranges your entire reality. The universe rewards clarity. Desperation is noisy and frantic. It sends mixed signals. But when you get still and honest about what you desire and you align your energy with that truth, you become a clear signal in the quantum field. That clarity becomes your magnetism. People often think that if they let go, they won't receive. But it's the opposite. Letting go isn't letting it disappear, it's letting it arrive without interference. Desperation is interference. It's you saying, "I don't trust it to come unless I hold it tightly." The universe responds better to soft faith than to tight control. If you feel like you're pushing and nothing is working, that's your cue to pause. Not because you've failed, but because you've entered the frequency of force. And force blocks flow. Alignment opens it. When you reset your energy, even the things that seemed impossible begin to soften and move. The most powerful energy you can emit is, "I am already." Not "I hope," not "I wish," but "I already am." Desperation says, "I need it to become it." Alignment says, "I'll become it to receive it." That simple reversal changes everything. It turns begging into becoming. Most people don't get what they want because they try to attract from scarcity. But you cannot receive abundance from a frequency of lack. You must shift internally before reality shifts externally. It's not fake it until you make it. It's feel it until it forms. Desperation always has a deadline. It waits, watches, and grows restless. But the universe doesn't move on human clocks. It moves on energetic readiness. When you stop staring at the clock and start aligning with timeless truth, things come faster because you're no longer slowing them down with worry. Your signal is clearest when you're at peace. Desperation adds static. It disrupts your ability to hear inner guidance, trust the process, and feel when it's time to act. Peace is not passivity, it's potency. It's the gateway to receiving more by needing less. You don't need more effort, you need more coherence. Desperation fragments your energy, it pulls you in 10 directions. Coherence pulls you inward, centers your vibration, and turns your being into a transmitter. That's when the universe hears you loud and clear. Many think that manifesting means doing more, but most of the time, it means releasing more. releasing doubt, releasing urgency, releasing the idea that you're not already enough. Desperation lives in the illusion of lack. Alignment lives in the truth of wholeness. You'll find that the moment you stop begging, things begin to move. Why? Because desperation was blocking your receiving mode. Once you release the grip and settle into belief, the energy becomes lighter. The field begins to reflect back, not your fear, but your frequency. So if things aren't showing up, check your energy, not your effort. Are you acting from trust or from tension? Are you believing or begging? The universe doesn't discriminate, it simply echoes. If you want something new, become the version of you who no longer needs to ask twice. Speaking to the universe requires belief. Speaking to the universe isn't about fancy language or ritual, it's about the vibration behind your words. You could say all the right things, but if your belief is weak, the signal collapses before it reaches the field. The universe isn't waiting for you to say it perfectly. It's waiting for you to mean it fully. Belief is the bridge between your intention and manifestation. Without belief, your affirmations are just noise. But with belief, even a whisper is powerful. When you speak to the universe with conviction, the energy wraps around your words and carries them with force. Doubt dilutes, belief amplifies. You don't manifest what you ask for, you manifest what you believe you can receive. The universe is listening to your energy, not your pleas. If you declare abundance but vibrate with lack, your belief is out of sync. But when your inner state says, "I trust," everything starts to align. Belief isn't pretending. It's not saying, "I have it," while secretly fearing you never will. It's a calm, grounded knowing. It's the energy of someone who has already shaken hands with the future. You speak it not to convince the universe, but to echo what you already feel inside. When you speak from belief, you don't chase signs, you become one. Your words carry frequency, and that frequency becomes instruction. The universe begins to rearrange not because you begged, but because your belief commanded a new reality. Belief isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It's quiet and magnetic. It doesn't argue with doubt, it simply outshines it. People who believe don't force. They align. They know that their inner state is more powerful than external noise. The universe reads that energy as readiness. Doubt is static in the frequency field. Every time you speak from fear, the message gets distorted. But belief is pure signal. It's direct. It's the clearest message you can send. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be sure. That certainty shifts the quantum landscape. Most people speak to the universe from their wounds, not their wisdom. They beg from pain instead of commanding from alignment. But belief speaks differently. It doesn't say, "Please fix me." It says, "I remember who I am." That remembrance changes everything. Belief is more than mindset, it's an energetic agreement. You're saying to the universe, "I know this is mine. I trust the timing. I trust the process. I trust myself." That trust becomes the frequency that the universe mirrors. Trust always speaks louder than need. The universe doesn't need constant reminders. It needs consistency. When you believe, you stop repeating your desires out of fear. You speak once, with clarity, and then you embody that state. Your belief becomes a lifestyle, not a moment. Speaking to the universe from belief requires letting go of the how. You don't micromanage the unfolding. You stay in alignment and let the field do its work. The moment you release control, your belief becomes clean. That clarity speeds up manifestation. Belief is a signal of ownership. You're not asking for something outside of you, you're claiming what's already within reach. You don't speak to get something, you speak to align with it. And in that alignment, the universe responds with ease. When you truly believe, there's a lightness to your energy. You're not waiting with tension. You're living with trust. That relaxed certainty is what creates momentum. The universe doesn't move because you force it, it moves because your belief opened the channel. You cannot fake belief. The field is intelligent. It picks up on energy, not words. So the real work is internal. Before you speak it, feel it. Before you declare it, embody it. Because the universe is not responding to the sound, it's responding to the signal. People who manifest with ease aren't lucky, they're aligned. They've mastered the frequency of belief. They don't just say, "It's coming." They live as if it already has. That level of embodiment tells the universe there's nothing more to wait for. Your belief is the engine. Your words are the vehicle. Without belief, the words don't move. But with belief, even the smallest intention becomes powerful. Every thought becomes a prayer. Every emotion becomes a magnet. That's how energy shapes form. Belief makes space for miracles. When you believe, you stop doubting the impossible. You start welcoming the unknown with open hands. You trust that the field knows how to deliver better than your fear ever could. And that trust bends reality. You don't have to know how it happens. You just have to believe that it can. That belief activates quantum probability. Possibilities you never imagined begin to form. But the first domino is always internal certainty. Without that, nothing moves. Speaking from belief is not ego, it's energetic integrity. It's saying, I am a match for what I desire. And that resonance echoes louder than any strategy. When belief speaks, the field listens. Because belief is the signature of someone who's already met their future self. So before you speak again, check your energy. Don't just say it, believe it. Don't just affirm it, feel it. Because the universe isn't taking notes on your words. It's tuning in to your soul's signal. And when that signal is clear, the response is inevitable. Alignment is the real language. Alignment is not something you do, it's something you become. You don't align by speaking perfectly or thinking positively for a moment. You align by living in truth. Your choices, your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions form the energetic code the universe responds to. When they all say the same thing, that's alignment. And that's when life starts reflecting it back. The universe doesn't speak English, Urdu, Spanish, or any human language. It speaks energy. It reads coherence. You can't fake your way into alignment. If your mind says yes, but your heart says no, the signal is split and the response is delayed. True alignment means all parts of you are moving in the same direction. People wonder why things don't manifest even after countless affirmations and visualizations. It's because they're speaking one thing while living another. You can't affirm abundance and then act from scarcity. Alignment means your habits and beliefs match your desires. When you're aligned, you don't chase. You attract. Why? Because you've become the frequency of what you want. You don't have to beg the universe to deliver. The moment your inner world reflects what you want to receive, the outer world begins to respond. Alignment feels calm. It doesn't panic. It doesn't ask, when will it happen? It already knows it's unfolding. When you're aligned, there's a quiet confidence in your energy. You're not hoping anymore, you're expecting, not from arrogance, but from embodiment. True alignment often requires shedding. You may have to let go of relationships, habits, or environments that no longer match your frequency. This isn't punishment, it's precision. The universe is making space so your new reality can land. Alignment isn't perfection, it's congruence. You don't have to be flawless, you just have to be consistent. You don't need to fake high vibration every moment. You just need to return to truth quickly and regularly. That return is the real language of alignment. When you're aligned, you stop negotiating with doubt. You stop explaining your vision to people who can't feel it. Your energy becomes your statement. And in that space, the universe moves not from what you said, but from what you became. Alignment shows up in the little things. The way you talk to yourself. The way you honor your body. The way you move through resistance. Every moment is either reinforcing your signal or disrupting it. The more aligned your micro choices, the louder your macro signal. People think alignment is about waiting for the perfect moment. It's not. It's about becoming the moment. You don't align by sitting still. You align by moving in faith. Your direction matters more than your speed. Every step in truth sends a signal of readiness. When you're aligned, synchronicities appear like magic. But they're not magic, they're mirrors. The field is reflecting your coherence. You're no longer throwing random signals into the void. You've tuned yourself, and now the universe is responding in kind. Alignment is not always comfortable. Sometimes, it demands you walk alone. Sometimes, it asks you to break patterns you've been loyal to for years. But every uncomfortable decision made in integrity becomes a doorway to a higher reality. You'll know you're aligned when you stop needing external proof. You don't need signs to believe you believe, and then the signs follow. That shift in sequence is what turns possibility into certainty. It's what allows timelines to bend in your favor. Speaking to the universe in alignment means being emotionally fluent. You don't suppress emotions, you move through them. You let them teach you. When you don't resist your internal world, you stop creating resistance in the external one. Alignment often looks like doing less, not from laziness, but from clarity. You stop wasting energy on people, tasks, or thoughts that drain you. You protect your field, and that protection becomes attraction. You no longer leak energy, you radiate it. Your alignment teaches people how to treat you. When you embody self-respect, the universe and everyone in it mirrors that. You don't have to demand respect. You just have to be a match for it. That's how frequency sets the tone for reality. You align when your self-image matches your soul's truth. If you keep identifying with a version of you that's outdated, your signal stays stuck in the past. Updating your identity is part of aligning with your future. Speak, act, and move as that version now. Alignment isn't just energetics, it's embodied. You feel it in your posture, your pace, your breath. There's no rush, no tightness, just flow. When you're aligned, your body becomes a tuning fork. It hums with clarity, and the universe listens. Alignment silences the noise of how. You stop obsessing over strategy and start moving with spirit. The how is revealed when you're in alignment, not before. Until then, the only task is tuning yourself to the frequency of faith and focus. The truth is, alignment is the most powerful language you'll ever speak. It says more than your words ever could. It tells the universe, I'm ready, I'm clear, I'm no longer becoming, I am. And in that moment, reality responds with open arms. You've never been ignored. You've just been out of tune. The universe has always been listening, not to what you say, but to who you are. And now you know. Now, you've remembered. The shift begins not in action, but in alignment. Speak less. Feel more. Raise your vibration, not your volume. Because when your frequency matches your desire, the universe delivers without delay. If this message resonated, stay close. Subscribe. Not for more content, but for more clarity, more alignment, more moments that tune you back to your truth. Your future is already here, it's just waiting for you to match it.